You're ready to buy, huh? You said, "Tell me where to look." Mm. I was just telling somebody about my carnivore diet, eating one steak per day. I lost 28 pounds in a month. That's pretty good. Happen to be having some nuts in the morning here with my coffee. That's about it. Till my one meal per day later. Oh, it totally works, Michael. It's insane. My wife says, "Don't you get bored of eating steaks every day?" And number one, no, I don't. Okay, number one, no, I don't. They're differently tasty every day, and they taste good. I suppose if they sucked, yeah, I would. But number one, it's freaking delicious. It's like eating pizza every day. I mean, don't you love pizza? I mean, like, couldn't you eat pizza every day? I mean, yeah, steaks. I love steaks. You can eat steaks every day. Yeah, you love steaks. I mean, when are you gonna get? You don't get sick of it, especially if you learn how to cook it better and fucking better and fucking better. I mean, just the other day I learned how to do a fond, where you scrape the bottom of the pan, add some wine and balsamic and garlic, whatever you want to put in there, make a fond. What do you call that? Um, when you distill it, I don't know. Anyway, you thin it, whatever, with the heat, and you scrape it all off, and it's called deglazing the pan. Put that on top. Holy shit! I'm telling you, I have got my steaks now tasting better than steakhouses. They're definitely better than steakhouses, which is an amazing accomplishment in itself, because you know how tasty and good and amazing steaks are at a steakhouse. And I'm doing this just with a pan, not with a grill or a smoker or anything. They're better than a steakhouse, but they're not as good as, let's say, a Michelin star restaurant in France. But I'll fucking tell you, they're somewhere in between. They're better than a steakhouse and approaching Michelin star restaurant in France, which, by the way, I know. I lived there many times. Okay, so when I'm not talking out of my ass when I say the steaks that I'm cooking are approaching Michelin star level. So no, I don't get sick of it. Now, that's number one. Number two is I'm not getting sick of losing weight. I'm not getting sick of making gains with my health. And my muscles are starting to come out. Like, everything's tightening up and the muscles are coming out. It's the opposite. You would think you would lose muscle mass, but I don't know why, but I'm not. And more than how much I don't get sick of eating steak is I don't get sick of losing weight. Now, once I hit bottom where I want to be, another 20 or 30 pounds less, then I can stabilize it. So I could add something else to my day. But I'll tell you what, and because I've been experimenting, I have absolutely discovered scientifically that it almost does not matter what you eat in the morning. Because I had one day where, because it was a Sunday, I ate a sugary breakfast. Okay, I had to, because it was Sunday, it was at church and everything, so I did. And then later I had my steak. And then by the next morning, I had lost the same amount of weight as I had always lost every day through this diet. So it didn't matter. It doesn't matter what you eat in the morning. Now, a different day, I had some snacks, even just a tiny bit, at like 8 p.m. instead of maybe all throughout the day. I had one late, 8 9 p.m. And that snack was keto. It was pepperoni slices and a slice of cheese. That, like charcuterie, that itself is keto, with no carbs, zero carbs, fat and protein. The problem is you can't avoid, unless it's water, you can't avoid the fact that that is calories. That is energy that needs to be burned. And so then you go to sleep with this additional intake, and by morning, doesn't matter that you only ate one steak in the middle of the day and you didn't even have breakfast, and I didn't lose any weight because of a little snack. So it seems the most important thing is not eating after your midday meal. Anything at all. I think probably that is the cornerstone of what's working. But yeah, I'd have to continue to run that experiment a few more times, but I do believe that that's probably the biggest factor. Is basically there's just zero eating after 4 p.m. It's fasting until bedtime. And then when I wake up, I have a coffee. And then I have another cup of coffee in like 2 hours. With I have zero sugar creamer or whatever. And it's not knocking me out of this ketosis or whatever's going on. And then, by the way, I dry brine and salt my steaks for a day, the prior day, so I am already preparing for the next day's meal. Then I have my steak at 3 p.m. I'm eating that, and I'm done at maybe 2:30 p.m. I'm done around 3:15, whatever. No more meals for the rest of the day. And sometimes I'll add broccoli to that, or even broccoli with cheese, or mushrooms or something. But frankly, it doesn't matter. It's maybe if it's a smaller steak, I'll add a side like that, a zero carb side that's healthy. But like the other day, I had a 20-ounce porterhouse steak. It was freaking incredible. I did actually have some mushrooms on the side, but it doesn't matter. And so that's it. And you get a little hungry later, a little bit. But if you wash your mouth with water, if you're drinking water, it keeps you satiated. You don't feel hungry, but it doesn't matter, because you know that if you eat, you won't lose weight. So you stick to it. That's why you work so hard making the steak. You know what I mean? It's like there's that whole investment thing, that time investment thing that keeps you on track. And the fact that you can find out for yourself that cheating doesn't work. That if you have a little snack late at night, boom, it just ruins the entire progress. And that it doesn't even matter what you eat in the morning. I still don't. And that way I experience a nice big drop each morning when I wake up. I'm like, wow. But the days that I do, I still lose weight. But the days where I don't lose weight is when I eat anything, a nut, even a single nut, anything after 4 p.m. That is the key. And when you think about it, it's just so stupid, isn't it? That what are we doing preparing, sitting down and eating the biggest meal of the day, putting all this shit in our stomachs, right? Right before we calm down and relax and rest and go to sleep and just let it sit in us all night. Who came up with that stupid shit? That is the dumbest idea on earth. Look, eat to use the energy. Otherwise, you ain't losing weight. You're going to gain weight. Eat to use up the energy, and then be hungry and empty by the end of the day. That's nature. If you can't do that, go to therapy. Like you have mental problems that you need to get over. You know, like you need to be able to have the discipline to be able to be natural. And if you don't, then it's time for you to whip yourself into mental shape. Sounds wonderful. A food coma on the couch to go to bed. And well, you know, I love to eat. Trust me. And so if I ever go on vacation, you know, those are the cheating times, you know. There's absolutely no way in holy hell I'm not going to have a slice of New York pizza if I'm in New York City. Fuck no. All right, so Mom is here. I don't know if she's still here. Are you here, Mom? I don't know. She might have left. Didn't want to hear my rant about steaks. But the market's opening in 1 minute, and she wanted to know what can she get in today. And the thing is, I don't think it's a day yet to get in yet. We're not going to get a signal on the market saying today's a good day to get in unless we get up and over this little point here. But that happens all the time, and then it doesn't follow through when we go lower. So, yeah, it could be. This is the biggest move in 3 days we've had in 5 years. So I really do think there's more to flesh out here in this sell-off. It's not going to be, this is not a bottom, in my opinion. I think we're going to see something like this. Okay. For a while, it's going to be, what is that? April, May, June. It could be June before we see another new high. Could be faster. I don't know. Anything can happen on the global stage and everything improves and wow, we're just up and out. But that's called a fast right side reclaim. And we'll recognize that too. We know what to do in all situations, don't we? Yeah. I put on this thing where I programmed where if we're above the 200 moving average, everything's in green. And if we're below the 200 moving average, everything's in red. And that'll be for any stock I pull up. So like Amazon, and so that helps me visualize with you together on my show, at least, what's in play, what's still good. We don't trade stocks that are below the 200. It's never that clear though. Okay. I mean, I know you're beginners, intermediate to beginners. You can't there's no such thing as gospel. Well, there really is not. There's not a lot of gospel on the stock market. There's a lot of scripture, but there's not one thing that, there's probably not even a 10 commandments. There's probably 100 commandments when it comes to the market. So let's see. I do have a list here of things triggering this morning. Let's go take a look. I also created the upside reversal scan yesterday. Remember that, Michael? So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Right now can be the best time to get into those kinds of things. Here's HIMS. See, HIMS is not a trigger. It would have to get over this point and I don't like how it behaved yesterday. Excuse me. NNE. NNE is that up and above yesterday's prices? Well, anyway, it's pulling back. We don't get into anything whenever the market is pulling back. So if the market's not going to be not going to be a green movement today, or really ideally a signal today, then we're going to stand by and just watch opportunities, see what kind of opportunities form. But wow, actually, I'm seeing about 80% positive breadth and growth right now. Okay, we're going to start blasting through names. There might be some triggers here. Let's take a look. Okay, AUR, this could be an entry right now. Wow, it's only one move. Where's the 1 minute? Is it this one? Yeah, okay. Stop at 725, 25 cents stop. Wow, that could allow us to do a 12 to 1. Well, that means I just basically can get in it, is what that means. Because 11 times it doesn't have to work, and 1 time it does, and I'll make money. So I'm going to go ahead and get in it, even with the possibility that it ain't going to work out, because 11 times out of 12, it doesn't have to work out. And 1 time it can work out, and that's going to pay for everything else. And I think it can do better than that. So I just got an AUR. I'm going to sell 10% of my position every 1 risk unit that it moves up. So that's 25 cents, because that's 25 cents to the stop. So right underneath 749. And these are very sensible targets. We got a very small stop on this. I'm going to set these up really quickly. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to set up the 2 of those. That's all the way to 8 now. So if it were to get to 8, I'd blast through 2 targets. And the reason why I'm moving on now without doing the rest of my orders is because, man, we need to keep an eye on everything that's happening right here this morning. Is our best opportunity to get the smallest risk-reward setups. That's an interesting reversal on Porch. But no, let's check out DraftKings. No. Duolingo. This could be a signal. Let's see. I'm waiting for the wicks to show up. Sometimes the wicks don't show up. I forgot to output on Twitch and Twitter, but I'm glad you guys are here. Okay. It's earnings tomorrow. We don't want to get in front of a freight train before earnings on Duolingo. I'm already in it, though. So depending on how much, I might sell this at the end of the day, depending on when earnings are. Okay. App had a terrible opening. Argin. Nope. ALK. Interesting. What's the ADR on that? Oh, Alaska. ALK. I think they're being bought out, aren't they? Or maybe they're buying JetBlue, or they're merging or something. ADR 3.76. Okay, that's a possibility. Interesting. When's earnings? Next earnings is not for a while. This ALK could be an entry. Risk to stop low of the day is 71.40, 72.50, so about $1.10. Yeah, this could be an 8-to-1. I'm gonna give it a try. ALK, because it's Alaska Airlines. So we can set up an 8-to-1 on that, and it's $1.10 of risk. So 318 shares for me. I will set up a couple of initial exits. From the entry of 72.50, we're talking every $1.10 will be 73.60. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out underneath. I'm going to take out 5% underneath every dollar mark or whatnot. I'm about to actually. Whoops! I just actually got one. Sell at the ask. All right, we hit first profit target on Alaska Airlines. Now I'm going to get another one under 73.49 and then 73.99, 74.49. So I'm doing every 50 cents. I'm going to sell 5%. And that's different with every stock you get in. Hold on a minute. Maybe I have that wrong. 8-to-1. I would need to take 8 exits. I did math a little bit wrong. 318 divided by 8 is 40 shares, so I should be taking 20 share exits at each of these points. Okay. So it just goes to show how easily, even an expert, trained, experienced, how you can mess up. Did I just get that fill? Yeah, I did. So I just got my first fill. Price target hit on Alaska Airlines. And we've set up an 8-to-1 is what we're setting up here, which is a little conservative. Actually, you probably could have did it. Actually, you probably could have did a 10-to-1. Probably my targets were correct. You probably could set a 10-to-1, but I'll do 8-to-1. And I'm doing 20 exits up an 8-to-1. That just happens to be what I'm doing. You can do yours differently, but spread them out. 8-to-1, risk to stop, risk reward, reward to risk. You guys who are my students, you know what I'm talking about. You guys who aren't, well, hit me up for a private message and let's get you some private lessons. All right, 240 and then 79.49. I believe that's like my last exit. Nope, I can even set up one more exit underneath 80. And that leaves me with 18 shares left. And what I'm going to do, like I always tell you guys, is I just take the spare shares and I put them in between my other orders. So whenever you have rounding like that, see what I'm doing? Just put in a share in between every one of those. And by the way, they're all good till cancel, extended hours as well. And we need to go back and we need to continue to look for opportunities here. This market is a little bit hopping with opportunities this morning, but Alaska Air and what was the other one that I got in? AUR. Those are the two ones that I got in so far this morning. I'm still in TAP. That's Coors. Looked way better than Budweiser. Because a lot of consumer staples are getting heavily invested in right now. And so you might as well ride that capital injection wave. Yeah, I'm just putting the extra spare shares between everything. There we go. And I'm favoring lower, more probable price targets. Okay, next up, let's take a look at HIMS ASTS. Not a good enough like trend. Grab. Similar situation there. It's already gotten too wide. CVLT. This is the importance of getting things early in the morning if you can, but only things that offer huge RR ratios. So 8 to 1s, 10 to 1s, 12 to 1s, 16 to 1s. Be very rare for you to get a 20 to 1. That's something like that's going to just get knocked out. You'd definitely have to have the market wins on your side to go for a 20 to 1. Because it means your risk unit is so small that just a little bit of movement today will knock you out of the trade. I mean, highly improbable, but also if you do get 20 to 1 out of it, it's highly worth it. Just hit another profit target on Alaska Airlines. So this is CVLT, and I'm sort of considering it. All right, it's an 8 to 1. Wait a minute, didn't we just... Wow, that looks so familiar. It looks like AUR, doesn't it? No, it's different. Okay, CVLT. I don't know why I haven't seen this, but okay. I'm going to get some CVLT as well. It's 8 to 1 still. If I don't hurry, it could get worse. So I need to get it now. 8 to 1. We're talking about $3.50 of risk, so 100 shares for my risk unit. I'll try for the bid for just a second. Nope. Oh, yes. Got the bid. Okay, excellent. And now I spread out 10 profit targets across at 8 to 1. For me, that's every $280 of profit. Or, as I said, it was $3.50 per risk unit. So for my entry, I could just go 176.50. However you want to put it in. However you want to do it. For everybody. So 176.50. And then 180. 183.50. Excuse me, 7. 190.50. 94. 97.50. I'm just going up every time that my risk unit. Just $3.50 here. 194. 197.50. 201. 204.50. What did I do here? Something's wrong. I created 10 exits. Up my risk unit. That's too much. I need 8 to 1. I did it again. There are 8. These should all be 12 share exits. Okay. Just got to replace each one. Okay. Growth is waning a little bit. The growth breadth, which is what we rely on. I got to turn on my fan. Today it's going to be a hot day or something. I can feel that I need the fan on. I also have a desk fan. So, yeah, I'm replacing these 10s with a 12. Share order a little bit larger, 1/8. Return to order. $90, $50, $194. $197.50 would be the next one. That's 8 orders. And that gives me 6 shares left over. No, that's not 8 orders. That's 7. But that takes me all the way up to 197, which is way up there. And it doesn't feel right mathematically. I think I may have done some math wrong. Let's check the math here. 8 to 1 is about 193. Yes, I'm way off somehow. And that is because my entry was 173. So some of this math is off. Hold on. 173. Technically 0.04. Might as well put it in. The stop will be the low of the day, 170.16, but I'm going to make that 170. Okay, now where's 8 to 1? Let's see. $197, which is, I believe, exactly where my top order exit is. Yeah, pretty much. This is why I don't like, this is why I prefer using the PL open thing, to place your orders. Because the math, you just don't even really have to do the math too hard. I tried to do it today. Would you do that? You can do that if you want for your mental clarity. I still wish they had a smart stop order. I would like to see them to create that for us. We need flattened stop orders. A flattened stop order would be if that price triggers, it cancels all open orders and then flattens the position. Man, we need that. That will be awesome. All right, let's take a look at more opportunities. HIMS, ASTU, Unity, not a signal. FTAI, the aviation thing, I think it is. Yeah, not really a signal. Not good looking either. Gigal, Group of Furniture, no. Upstart. Oh, it's kind of a signal. Let me see here if it was a huge topping tail or not. Yeah, and this is, everyone loves Upstart, for various reasons. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Gonna grab Upstart. What would be the risk reward? Oh gosh, it could be really good. Low of the day, 68.24. Entry right now is 69.82. That's about $1.50 of risk. Typical ADR is 6, so that's 4. So we can get 16 to fucking 1 on this. I've got to get in right away. 233. Oh, 16 to 1. 16 to 1 opportunities to come, maybe once a week or not much more. Just hit another target on Alaska Airlines. I'm in Upstart now. And now I'm going to set up my exits. So 16 to 1. Woo. If I'm going to take 233 divided by 16, I can sell 15 shares up 16 points. Wait, is that right? Yeah. Uh-huh. 15 shares up 16 points, and 16 points of my 350 times 16 is 5,600. So every 560 bucks on Upstart, 560 bucks of profit, I'll take out the 15 shares. So I gotta start putting that in now. For me, that's why I need to be for the 16 to 1. Just hit another profit target on Alaska Airlines. 560, 1120. Whoops, pull that down right there. 1120, 1640. And this brings me to 76. Oh, these are all very feasible prices. Man, you have got to love the 16 to 1s when they come up. Whew. 1640, 11, I think 20, 2160, I believe it is, if I'm doing the math right. 2680. 3200. 3720. 4240. 4740. And one last order. Oh, my sizes aren't correct, but all right, I'll get back in there and fix that in a second. Something's not right there. Oh, it's going to make 16 orders. That's why. Not 10. Okay. Well, then hold on just a minute. Oh, 16 times 350 is 5,600. And I divided that by 10. Already messed up. I need to divide that by 5,600 divided by 16. Oh, yeah, 350. That's my risk unit. Oh, yeah, okay, this totally makes sense. I didn't need to do all that other math. Just every risk unit, sell 1/16th, because we're at 16 to 1. That'd be perfect. You understand the math on that? Okay. Hopefully. 350. 1050 plus 350 is 1,400. 1,550. 2,100. 2,450. 2,800. 3,150. Is that pecking sound that keeps happening? No idea. It stopped when I went over there. It just makes you think it's a rat or something. All right, 2,800, 3,150, 34, 3,500, 3,850 plus 350, 200, 4,200, 4,550. Okay, and from there 4,550, 4,900, 5,250. Excuse me if I'm doing the math right. And finally 5,600. Yep, that was correct. Oh, what happened here? I guess for some rounding. 233 minus 225 is 5 and 3 is 8. So the last order will be for 8 shares. That's just rough math for you with rounding. That's just the way it is sometimes. Okay, so that's set up a 16 to 1. The final exit will be at 93.50, and look, that's plausible. You know, that's plausible. I got stopped out of that train. Let's put a new one here. With the 16 to 1. Pretty excited to have a 16 to 1 set up here. You know, you don't get those that often. So let me dial in the numbers. My entry was 69.73. The stop is 68.24. 68 and a quarter, you see. Okay, and then the 16 to 1 takes us to 93.50. I have this absolutely perfectly set up. Upstart. All the numbers, all the math, everything lines up. Very nice. All right, and that's on its way. Alaska Airlines doing great on that trigger. The market has turned green, so signals are good. We're backed by the market now. The winds that are back, and we now have 90% breadth and growth, so we have more opportunities. Let's keep looking. Steel, no. GFS, Global Foundries, no. CFLT, not really. HIMS, ASTU, DraftKings, Grab, Duolingo, FTAI, ALK, CRS, and I haven't even looked at our hot list yet. What did I just say? CRS. Not loving the way this thing looks. And it's not a signal anyway. RGen, we already looked at. CRS Upstart, we're already in. Intel, no signal. It's just sliding in between yesterday's prices. VFC. VFC looks good. I don't think we're getting more than 41 though, are we? Maybe we are. Maybe we're getting 8 to 1 here. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna get it. VFC, diversify. Oh yeah, it's 4-point uptrend. All right, looking good. It's about 69. Yeah, 50 cents to stop. For me, that's 700 shares. Okay, I'm in 25.69.50, 25.70 essentially. And this is an 8 to 1 setup. I like 8 to 1. That's good. So now I need to take 350 multiplied by 8, or my risk unit, or I just divide the number of shares I have by 8. Here's a different way to do it. By 8. And so that's 88 shares. Times 8 is how many I have. So that means 8. It's 8 to 1, right? So what I could do is I could add my risk unit up from entry, you know, and be selling those every risk unit up. And actually what I'm going to do is so right now it's a 50-cent risk unit, is I'm going to take that down to 25 cents and do 20 orders, or 16 orders of half size. Okay, good to cancel. So I'm going to do under every quarter, essentially, I'm going to put an exit. Get a little bit more granularity that way. Realistic levels. It's a good thing overall. You can do whatever you want in trading. You know, the idea is just learn everything. Obviously learn the essentials, but you know, learn everything, and then you can discretionarily set up anything you want based on anything you know. That's it. I already did 16 orders or whatnot. Oh yeah, I did. Wow. Well done. All right, and the last order will be for 40, not 44, because of rounding. So that takes me to 29.72, which is a little bit way up there too high. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to take my remaining 40 shares, and I'm going to do like 5-share exits closer to reality down here, sort of in between. And that's what you should do whenever you have leftover shares. fill up the more probable profit targets. Hit them. Okay, let's see. I got 15 more to throw out. Okay. Just I'm putting them in between. In animation, they call that tweening. You put things in between frames. All right, let's see. We still had about 85% breadth here. What about these ones triggering on the upside reversals? ASPI, nah. TRVG. Well, I mean, that's insane. MPLN. No. There's not enough of a pre-existing trend. HIM, STIM. It's a bit too crazy. KULR. That's not an upside reversal. Why did it say that? Let me see. Yeah, it gives me a few false positives that are very close borderline cases for me to take a look at. That's the way I programmed it. INOD, because I'd rather have it give me things that are super close than removing everything. I don't want to find out the next day. AFRM outside? What is this guy talking about? Outside bar? That's a golfing. Did I not get in AFRM? This looks exactly like something I got in. Did I get AFRM? I did not. I mean, I think it looks like just like Upstart, I think. Yeah. I think AFRM is also a signal. It might be getting a little bit overexposed into one particular industry by doing so, though. Isn't AFRM and Upstart also in similar industries? Okay, Google, what industry is AFRM? Financial technology specializing in payment solutions. Okay, Google, what industry is UPST? No, not the UPS store. No. Okay, Google, what industry is UPST? It's not telling me. I don't give a shit. I'm getting in. 134. 134 shares. We can set up an 8-to-1 on this. It's pulling back. I should be able to get the bid. Boom, got the bid. Okay, 66.35 entry is my entry, and the low of the day is 64. Perfect stop, and this is 66.30, so about $2.30 of risk. Let me see if I calculated the number of shares correctly. I should get 150 shares. Okay, so I should get 16 more shares for my position size. I'm trying to get that at the bid. I think I'm going to get hit. No? Things are moving around. Come on. You can fill me. Now, okay, good. I got the fill. So now I want to take, this is going to be an 8-to-1. Might as well set it up visually. Which takes us just over prior highs. Pivot highs. Maybe it's new all-time highs. I don't know. But we have some runway there. Upside runway. Okay, I got to put those targets in. I'm going to put, so it's 8-to-1. So I'm going to divide 150 by 8. That's 19 shares per order. And I'm just going to do that at every risk unit. For me, that's 350. 700, 1050, 1400, 1750, 2100, 2450, 2800. Notice how I'm putting it underneath all these levels. That's my last level with 17 shares remaining, not 19. 2800. Boom. Okay, that's 84.77, which is, yeah, right here. Yeah, it's very close to exactly what I'm looking for. Is everybody able to follow that? You know how I do this? Okay. All right, so we've set up, I think, a couple of 8-to-1s and even a 16-to-1. I don't even remember which one was a 16-to-1. I think it was Upstart. And we still have a lot of different green opportunities here. They're all just so many. HSI must be AI related. That just looks, that looks wonderful. That's like holy grail type trading and everything, but there's no trend. So, but definitely goes on our list of hot stocks to watch, and we need to go through those, by the way, when we run out of screened opportunities here. Palantir is a little bit low on the list, but let's take a look at it because we love Palantir. Roku, and by the way, no. Roku, no. Uber, no. And just go back and check the market again. All right. Both markets. S&P 500, even though it's red, is in a nice spot. That's not the S&P 500. Never mind. Oh, S&P 500 looking good. That's a signal on the S&P 500. So that's good. Signals on the markets can translate to signals on stocks and should give you, be a green light. DOX was an entry this morning. We missed it. I'm not sure that it would have been super good anyway, because the stop would have had to probably have been down to 70. And then your entry would have been 72.50, giving 250. Yeah, you could only get about a 5-to-1, which is good. But not considering that you'd have to be stalking it and it's not exactly perfectly set up. And yeah, you're asking a lot. CFLT, DOX, ALK, RGen, EAT. I believe I was in this the other day and got stopped out. Yeah, I went in, got stopped out. It actually was an entry yesterday, damn it. Any entries yesterday could have definitely been a sign of real strength. And now it's definitely following through today. The entry yesterday, though, probably realistically, you would have had to wait to 154.20. Put your stop at 147. 154.20. It's just $7.20 of risk. Ooh, that's only a 4-to-1. See? That would have not really been something that you would have wanted to grab. That's not a risk reward you want set up when the market's working against you. No, thank you. CLS, I think, did we already look at that? No. It's pretty haphazard lately. I think we'll leave that one alone. QFin. It could be going into an upcycle. Could also be continuing a pullback. Stop of the day is 40.80. It's currently 41.80. $1 of risk out of $2 ATR. Would set up an 8-to-1. Let me see what the shape of it is on the day. Oh, Robinhood. I do want to take a look at that. The shape of the day is multi-point uptrend. All right, I'll give it a try. 8-to-1 on QFin. $1 of risk to stop. 350 shares for me. Looks like I'm fully allocated. Can't get anything more. Well, good luck, you guys, on QFin. If you want to get it, it's $1 a risk to stop. But I'm fully allocated now. Some of these positions with those 16-to-1s, that's what happens. When you get 16-to-1 setup, they can allow you to get a lot of shares of pretty good size. So I'd love to be in QFin, but cannot. That's a signal. We'll see if it holds up by the end of the day. I'll put it on our list. By the way, it's not on our list. It's definitely one we just found. I have like 50 other stocks on my hot list, and there's probably 15 more stocks to check over here. So it's 65, but it's already after 10 o'clock, our morning show. So I'll just pull out a few potentials. Monday, not in love with the chart, even though it's a signal. Just not in love with the chart. Looking for any big ones. CCL, that'd be Carnival Cruise Lines. Yeah, that's a signal. If you want to get in cruise lines, today's a good day. 24 stop, 40 cents of risk. Yeah, you could get an 8-to-1 setup on Carnival Cruise Lines. 8-to-1, currently. That could change in a minute and no longer be good. So Carnival Cruise Lines is another potential 3.8% ADR, so it's good. And I know Royal Caribbean is another one that, yep, that's a signal as well, RCL, but that one's only providing a 4-to-1, so you would not get that. The opportunity setup is not correct, but CCL is an 8-to-1 setup, and you would want to get that. It's about 50 cents of risk to the stop at 24 right now. Man, I want that. I wonder if I can get it. Let's see. It's 8-to-1. Maybe I have enough spare trading power. Let's see what happens. No, I think I'm over the limit already. Yeah, probably gonna have to liquidate some other thing that maybe isn't working. In fact, just to make up for some. Yeah, boy, I sure would love to get this CCL. This is looking so good. It's only $4 a gain, so about right to the very tippy top is 8-to-1. So if it can run all the way back up to the top over the course of a month or 2 weeks, you're gonna get that 8-to-1. Boy, I sure would love that. All right, well, CCL. Looking good. You guys can get it. CRS, NXT, Uber, CLS, Gigal, XPOQ, Finn, and CLH, the cruise lines. Norwegian. Ooh, this could be even better. Let me see. That's pretty choppy. Oh, and earnings tomorrow. Yeah, I know. There's several reasons why not to get in on that one today. DRS, is that Darden's? No. What is this? Leonardo. God, what a beautiful chart it's been going on, but now it really did not respond well to the recent drop. Stay away from that. INSM, we were hot about this a couple days ago. I'm still in it. Okay. I am still in it. And it's not a signal today. Anything else? ASPI, what about giant market caps? HIMS, ASTS, HSI, I already looked at those. INOD, I did believe I looked at. WRD, I forget what that is. WeRide, okay. Oh, all right. Well, technically, it's a signal today on WeRide. IPO pulling back after some giant movement. The setup right now is for 8-to-1. 8-to-1, $2 risk, $16 from here, 24 plus $16, it's $40. That'd be all the way up to here. Kind of wishful thinking. Hey, but it is what it is. It's a signal, and it's almost getting away from you, moving in the right direction. And at an 8-to-1, be wrong 7 out of 8 times, and right once, and it pays for itself. So 8-to-1 set up on WRD, WeRide IPO, hot ticket, which might, if it can get back to 40, you'll hit all of your profit targets. 8-to-1 set up on WRD. And I'm going to keep that on our hot list, even though it's not really like in trend, but it's pretty hot stock. WeRide. Any other big ones? Let's see. Root. Yeah, it retraces too deeply. I don't like that. We need to be able to retain the uptrend a little bit better than that. Oklo. It's kind of penny stockish type wild stock. What is that anyway? What if Oakley or something? Nano Nuclear Energy is on the list today. I think I got out of that the other day. It is a signal. Yeah, and it's 8-to-1. You might even be able to get 10-to-1 when you do your calculations. But that would be 10-to-1 would be $17 of gain from here. 38, 40, 45. Okay, so it's almost to return to previous highs in order to get your full 8-to-1. 8-to-1. Hey, it's possible. It's 8-to-1. this chart, this choppiness on this chart makes me want to get a 10 to 1 or a 12 or a 16 to 1 to have a little bit more confidence in it. But 8 to 1 is saying, you could get a 11% chance for it to happen, and it would be a worthwhile endeavor in the long run. That's a positive bet. All right, well, I'm fully allocated. What I got to do today is shore up a little bit because I like my new positions. Maybe one of them will stop out. I don't wish that, but maybe one of them will stop out. And, the market will do what the market's going to do. The market's looking good. What you really want to see is for the market to get up above that candlestick's high. That's a signal on the growth market. On the S&P 500, that signal already occurred, see? All right, so stay in the group, and I'll keep you apprised of opportunities. So let me know of opportunities. Let me know what you're in. Let me know if you need any help with anything in the group. All right, you guys, have a good one. And I guess you're welcome ahead of time because sometimes you guys say thanks right after I end the stream.